Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm back and I'm mad.
Hello, everybody. I hope you don't see any adverts right now, because then I would be talking to a blank screen. Hello, Jerry.
You say that, but I'm still seeing the Hogwartsy audible thing. And every time I see it, I'm reminded of Peter Serafinowicz had a show that was like a spoof 70s, like a scientific thing, where they all dress like they were in the 70s and the Open University and talk balls about science there. And it just reminds me of that so much. And then it's like, oh no, it's not. It's just actually a shitty advert for Audible.
Oh, that's bad.
It's a crushing disappointment. And I go back to watching him pretend to be Michael Caine with a pound of sausages. That's quite good.
Welcome, Crazy Red Gold, Soap, Dodger, Demons Up, Falcon 42, D, Crispin, Danley, Dutch, Lord Saints. Ask a silly question then, Crispin, if you want.
Petey Wheatstraw.
I don't think that's a silly question.
No, but it's a good answer.
Yeah, almost as good as 42.
I'll ask a silly question. How do we think the English FA infected Gilmore with coronavirus to stifle the Scots getting through to the next round?
Let me say...
Yes.
I don't give a toss.
If you are able to access, because obviously interweb is a weird thing, Amazon, in the Prime Video department, you can get the Hitchhiker's Guide TV series for like £8, something like that. And it's amazing. It's really good. It's fantastic. It's properly a Hitchhiker's Guide, not like that shit film they made.
Here I am, brain the size of a planet.
Yeah. Where Marvin, the paranoid android, is a depressed android. You know, where it was fun, where it was interesting. The people weren't shit. Unlike the new shit version.
Oh yeah, there's a Stephen Fry reading version of the audiobook. I think I need to give that one a listen at some point.
I honestly don't know how it goes with the Amazon though, Crispin. Because I know depending on where you are in the world, sometimes they change what's available. But
yeah, the movie is a completely different beast, Crispin. It's a reimagination, if you will, and surely hasn't all the dark humor that is in the original TV series or book.
Shocking. Especially because Adams wrote the fucking thing. No excuse. Anyway.
Yeah. So, what have you in store for us today? We start with Ulthuan Resurgent.
Yes,
by
could do
Umbra.
that. I was just going to narrate the entire film of Petey Wheatstraw. just go through it, scene by scene, explain to people what they're missing. But sure, we'll have a look at these instead.
Well,
So this is from Umbra. And when I initially seen this, and there are a few lurking around like this, which are sort of older things that have been resurrected. You'll see a few in here that are going back to last year or beyond, and then suddenly they've gone, hang on a minute, I've got more shit. So I've enjoyed...
I've cleaned up my closet. I found this.
Yeah, I've enjoyed looking through them, seeing what's coming. It's also quite nice just seeing. I don't know why they're called Highborn Lancers. That smacks of something else to me, but you know, Silver Helms. They're Silver Helms. You call them Silver Helms. And Swordmasters of Hearth, regular and minty. Doesn't have super deluxe though.
I think
But it's really nice army.
that's a very long time I've seen this model.
Oh, it's so newfangled. I don't even own any of them. That's how modern that is.
But the base rim is goblin green. Just
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, you know, it's clearly shows that Umbra is a man of good taste. What's this? Animated emotes can be disabled in settings. Oh, if I knew what the fuck that was, Twitch, I might care. How do I make you fuck off?
Animated
There we go.
emotes. Oh yeah, I seem to remember there has been a update on weird things.
Good. I look forward to everything breaking because of it in the not too distant. But yeah, you can go further and further back at the time. It's a nice solid army. He's even got Boobies the Griffin.
This is an interesting piece. I don't think I've ever seen a elf statue as a terrain piece.
Well, they don't get about much. Isn't that what they say? They're from something entirely different, but obviously do quite well because that and the obelisks, very similar to the menhires that the elves stick about everywhere around them to channel the winds of magic. But they are from The Last Sword, which is a miniature company, little Spanish crew. So I think we've probably looked at them before. There's Boobies.
There's where what? People are doing naughty things in the chat.
Are they? No, I don't think so. No, Boobies is the name of the griffin. Because he's just going, Boobies! He's just got the most grabbiest of all claws. Don't know why.
Now I see. So he's not going motorboating, he's going Boobies.
That's his name. I didn't name him that. That's just what he was called.
From the studio.
Yep. No, oh God, no. No, whenever he was released, I remember being discussed in Games Workshop as being Boobies the Griffin, and online from the members of the ECT from England referred to him as Boobies the Griffin. The Bens from the Bad Dice podcast, if anybody is old enough to remember them. But yeah, it's just a thoroughly engaging, long-going project that covers all aspects of elven kind, because you've even got some old school stuff mixed in with some dark elf stuff who have seen the error of their ways. I imagine have become their shadow warriors. And I think he still uses it for Ninth Age.
This project has a lifespan that reminds me of a steamroller. It's going slow, but it's going and it's not stopping.
Yeah, don't need to. Just every now and again you just change things up a bit. The Last Sword, elves work very nicely as heroes, I have to say. They're a nice change up, but they're still aesthetically quite close to the old school elves, so it's good.
And a very consistent, rather different paint scheme, because I can't remember seeing too much blue silver in this way before on other high elves.
It's very close to the original color scheme.
Yeah, but it's different enough to not look like, he copied the studio design.
Because obviously they have to wear white because it's the color of mourning. Because they could die out there fighting the good fight, poking people in the face with long swords. Stab, stab.
And pointy sticks.
Cheers, Damon. But look, he's even got a phoenix right at the start, going correctly from hot to cold, yellow to red.
Yeah.
Like its beak is the hottest part, like a hot wire cutter, it'll just go through you. Like a hot knife through butter.
And it's a very clean transition from yellow to orange.
I imagine an airbrush may have been used in that. If not, that was a shitload of glazing. So.
Yeah, sadly, he doesn't say.
Doesn't have to say he's got a painted phoenix. In fact, he's got two. He can just sit there in the knowledge that he has them. And if people want to follow along at home, work it out yourselves. Leave a comment in his thing going, how'd you do that? That's a good way of doing it.
Ask for advice. Yes, Lord Saints, that was exactly my thought. It must be a very interesting hot buttocks on that phoenix.
He might be wearing the same armor that the Phoenix Guard wear, which gives them immunity to flames.
Yeah, that would be useful in this case. Or maybe he's into hot shit.
That is also true. Roasted nuts. No lad, just sitting on a phoenix.
Nice. Now I'm getting hungry. Next project then. Death Texas spring cleaning. We had this on last week.
Did we? That's
We
all right.
did.
I couldn't be certain because my thing hadn't talked the thing. So in that case, yeah.
Yeah, in
Whatever
that
I
case,
said
we
last
just
week, but still
skip it.
the same.
Rinse, repeat.
Hmm.
Ancients in 6mm with weird coins as a reference.
Yes. So if you're in the UK or if you're in America, if you're in Europe, then you just have to suck it up.
Somewhere I've got a pound coin, so that could work.
Yeah. It's not quite the banana for scale, but you can have everything.
That's a lot of small.
There are lots of small, and again, this is another project that goes back to time immemorial, as you'll see as you scroll further down. I really like them. Not sure what rule set is the plan behind it. Obviously, being
Hail Caesar?
multi-based, they can be played on multiple games because a lot of things use base frontages, so you can play whatever the shit you want. I would like to point out, if you're paying attention at home, the multi-canopy trees, where it's just like layers of scrubbing brush for scouring your metal pots and pans, have just been layered up on top of what presumably bamboo skewers to make those tree lines, and that's just great. Big fan of that. But yeah, we have a variety starting with the... Oh, you've gone all right at the bottom. Oh, be like that then. Starting with the Greeks.
That's a lot of spears.
Worse, that's a lot of pikes. Look at the length of those. Somebody's got all the Macedonians and they're not afraid to use them. Look at them. He's even got companion cavalry there. And everybody knows how much the Greeks couldn't be arsed with fucking horses.
Couldn't they?
Oh God, no. Horses are for peasants or for hunting. You don't ride a horse into war. Ride a horse into war, and what happens is 256 men with very long fucking sticks come and poke your horse. Macedonians sort of changed Greek warfare massively. They went from horses or something that's there to drive off enemy skirmishers to horses or something there to be formed into a wedge and drive off armies. So, yeah, quite nice.
And then there's tiny Romans.
Tiny
a lot
Romans
of them.
Jumping further in time. We get early Imperial Romans. Auxilia, as far as the eye can see. And then, obviously, the standard legionnaires. I also quite like the fact that there's not a red shield to be seen there. And I like that. Because we all get the big red rectangular shield feel with Romans, and it becomes so samey after a while. And just being able to look at that army and go, ooh.
I need to think about it, but I think the Romans in the Asterix and Obelix comics have blue shields as well.
Could be, it's been a long time.
So they all always struck me as blue's the correct color.
Probably because I didn't read a huge amount of Asterix and Obelix. Don't think so, Crispin. In fact, I know they're not anytime soon. So,
Elves for Kings of War update.
They are the... Oh, it's just not sticking at all, is it? Oh, fuck you. Project system, you fucking fuck. It's where you're up to Phalanx versus Cohorts, so here we see Rome extending the empire.
It's an interesting table he has. Looks like a piece of wallpaper.
Could be. It's a good way of doing it. Especially for 6mm. You need to fuck around. It's definitely not using DBM or DBX system because he would have terrain and baggage on that tabletop.
He says he's doing Hail Caesar.
Is he? Ah, that'll be it then.
And on this entry, he's actually saying converting DBA to Hail Caesar. So I'm guessing it's still Hail Caesar today, even if this is a year old.
Could be.
Wasn't there
Never say
something
never.
about on 6mm miniatures you don't need to paint as much detail?
Yeah.
Why did he do it then?
Why not? Would be my answer. If you look, he hasn't painted much detail. That's a blob of skin colour daubed onto the hands, 2 blobs on the face, metallics are blobbed on, and then the crest blobbed on. There's no detail on there at all, bar the Macedonian sunrise on the standard. Less is more. Now, if he'd highlighted them, I would be questioning what he was up to.
No,
Black base coat, and then get the colours in roughly the right area. You're laughing. Job's good.
no bleach bone attached here. I was going to say that these miniatures, these ballistas look like self-made, but I think the ballistas are bought and the catapult is do-it-yourself.
Yeah, the onager looks like it's been scratched.
Cocktail sticks and scissors.
You'd think scissors would be very big to stick on something 6mm.
Or maybe very tiny scissors.
Like Scissor Sisters.
Twisted Sisters. Yeah, this is something that surely is easy to store and to carry along to have a game over at friends. And what was it you were talking about, the nice trees I had so fastly ignored? Layers upon layers.
Yeah, it's a scrubbing pad.
I like that he has gone away and not used a base for the larger wood pieces because the trees stand for themselves.
Yeah, it's a good way of doing it, especially for the side where people aren't going to be in it. I imagine if you're going to have people in there, you probably want to mark it in some way, because once you lift that off, you don't really know where the trees are anymore. So, but then in this scale, this is the scale where coloured felt is your friend. You too can have hills, arable farmland, towns, water features, anything you want with just coloured felt. It's a thing of beauty. You put it in your pocket. Deploy the terrain from your pocket.
Deploy the terrain. Oh, I've got something in my pocket we can use as objective marker.
Exactly.
Well done, Firelock 22.
But wait.
Next project then is a Lloyd Shot Army, Sergeant Hakeswill.
Yes.
Again, Firelock 22.
Yep.
Purely
Decided
coincidence.
to go back and update all the shit that he'd last done 3 years ago. So any fans of Sharp will know Obadiah Hakeswill. I believe it's Obadiah. Mother. Anyway, nobody can kill Obadiah except Obadiah. So he came up with the idea for having a sergeant carrying a sergeant's pike. So he made himself a little pike, and then decided that screaming, barking mad Obadiah shouting at the picture of Mother at the bottom of his helmet needed some recruits to browbeat and pick on and steal all their shit from. So he's added a few more fresh troops.
Fresh in quotes.
Fresh, new, exciting people there to be spooked out by creepy man being creepy.
Here I see what you mean, yeah. Somebody shouting into his helmet.
For any fans of Sharp will know that he would have a picture in the bottom of his shako that he would talk to Mother all the time.
And does
Oh,
she
yeah, the mother.
answer?
Oh yes.
Oh god. Oh god.
Obadiah was a bit wrong.
It's some time ago that I've seen sharp practice. Let's put it that way.
It's great. It's fantastic. Pete Postlethwaite plays Obadiah in the Sharp TV series. Plays him very well. But yeah, it was just a nice little... It was more just to amuse myself after I'd seen his other.
Oh, and he actually
update.
painted a picture into the
Yeah.
helmet.
Oh, God, yeah. You can't have him talk to an empty helmet. He'd just be mad then. What? Say what? I was so amused whenever they came up in my, projects you're following. I was like, ooh, there's been a new one posted in it.
It
it's
has
going
been only 2.5 years.
Yeah, there you go.
I love the fact that he has used a Primaris as a statue.
Oh yeah, I can't think of a better use for a Primaris. And yeah, so the fact that he's using the classic guard unit markings, so squad and platoon and company all designated by number and coloration. So it's good. It's very nice. I like them. I like the fact that they've also got the full kit on their backs for marching, because then it's, even though they're clearly not Napoleonic based, it has that Napoleonic feel, having to take their pack and bedrolls and all with them.
Yeah.
While Hakeswill screams and steals their shit.
Get
And
to the
shits out
fun.
their shit. Makes them eat his shit that's made out of their shit.
It's a very fecal-focused army, it seems.
It really is, yeah. Can't even remember what that's from.
Next episode, then, is 144 Artist. And
Yes!
we've been here before, and I've said it time and time again, he's a talented fuck.
Yep. There's no
So-
way around it. He is that. But there have been many updates. I say
Many.
that. There's
So,
been many updates, but we may have been here, I've been drinking, and the thing hasn't updated, so...
let's see.
No, I'm right for once. Cool. I'm sure I've seen
Holy
something
fuck,
like this
that's a
before.
lot.
Oh, isn't it though? Go on, my son. I'll wait for you to catch up.
Oh no. No. Oh no.
Get there. Almost.
There. December last year.
See?
Holy
Creeping away in the
shit.
background. Oh, yeah, I know. It's one of those things. I don't know how this one escaped me so often. Obviously, a lot of it because the Sprint Team Challenge got in the way recently. But now is as good time as any to do some hot 144 artiste catching up. At my word, what an amount of stuff there is to catch up on.
What is he smoking would be an appropriate question for this lad.
Well, nothing as crass as opium, clearly. Not when he could be getting hooked up on crazy Volsungy magic opium.
I'm guessing he stole Aladdin's lamp and is now smoking the gin.
It's one way of doing it.
Hisaru Shiro, the Wizard of the Mist. Well,
The mess in this question is maths. Maybe it's maths, but with a lisp.
and then we have, what's this friendly looking guy?
That one looks almost like he shouldn't be in Volsung. Almost looks like it should be something from like Void. He's one step away from or Urban War. Urban Mammoth? Urban Mammoth. Anyway.
A henchman, Shadow, his name. Ranged firepower. He looks a bit weird.
Well, he's protected against whatever's going to come billowing out of the end of that gun, which I imagine is going to be hot, flaming jazz all over your friends. Hence why he doesn't want any parts of his body to be left to their own devices.
Speaking of covering your body, dude, get some clothing.
How do we know that's not clothes he's wearing? We know he's not wearing a fat suit.
Well,
Made out
that
of a literal fat man, and it turns out he's very thin inside.
would be very weird.
Even be a halfling.
Maybe 2 halflings in one suit.
2 halflings in a suit.
I'm pretty sure
Only one
some
melee.
miniature maker has done them.
Mantic Games have 2 Z's in a trench coat, which is similar but different. But there we go. Triad Ogre.
The colors on all the glass and crystals is again quite breathtaking.
It's very good. I wonder if he hits that with a gloss varnish to make them really sort of pop, or just keep with the same varnish across the board.
And a very British person with a very massive fist.
Could be Mr. Fistings. I can't remember his name, but I'm fairly certain that he's one of Justin's favourite characters, and I think it's because he's got filthy rules.
Torvald Nielsgaard and his whole Tony Stark vibe. So
Yeah,
Torvald
the Van
Nielsgaard.
Reer, yeah. So,
A weird scientist.
well, the whole Van Reer are all kind of a scientific bent.
Okay, now we're getting on Justin's territory. He is a maid.
I think Justin likes to dress up as a maid. Is that what we're saying? I mean,
I'm not saying he's not doing it.
It all makes perfectly valid sense to me.
And somebody who looks like
Yes.
what's his face?
Mark Twain.
Mark Twain, thank you, that weird
You're
author.
There's a good reason for that.
Because he's based on Mark Twain?
I would imagine so.
Distant relative.
A lot of the Volsungi type people are in the same way. Twisted. You're going for Victoriana steampunk. You're going to have a lot of the same influences. So
Oh look! Tartan. We hadn't seen Tartan for very
we
long.
haven't, and now we've got 2 in one go: tartan dress and a tartan vest for Mr. Hyde, the Ogre Bruiser.
Now this is a miniature I can get behind.
Because you don't want to be standing in front of him
Yes.
when his gun goes off. It's a good way to be.
Also, I think this would be an awesome cosplay for Ben.
It's not dissimilar to cosplay that Justin actually has. He used to dress up like steampunk. Obviously, when the hat's on, you can't see the fact that he's got no hair. Just have the big beard and then the round Lenin-like sunglasses.
I only know the pictures of him dressed as an Imperial Guard or with the Fallout character.
It's from the before times. Before we lured you in.
Thomas Rocket Hart Jr. I love these
Sure.
names.
That's how they get you.
And then there's a weird, very thin mechanic.
You know, maybe she's not had a lot to eat.
Yeah, lifting that wrench surely isn't a easy feat.
It's a good sized wrench, though.
One
Yeah.
size fits all.
When you open something with that wrench, it stays open, or when you close it, it stays closed.
Very much so. Lioness Pneuma? What the hell?
There will be a picture of the front door open, and you'll find that it's crammed with zombies. It's a good way of doing things. Sometimes you just need to add more zombies to the world. The best way is via the medium of a phone box.
So this is the opposite of the suicide box from...
Oh no, I think it's very much the same as the suicide box. If you open that door and go into that box,
You're dead.
you are TT, as they say, fucked. I quite like the phone boxes as well, because obviously it's a very distinctly British look to it. And
Very...
having them popping up along the Volsung tables is very nice.
Oh, I love these abominations.
I believe those are things that crawl out of the phone box. So,
What comes out of those things?
what's better than a zombie? Mechanical zombie. Speaks for itself.
Necrogolemic workshops. That's... Why do people need to make names tongue twisters like that?
Because they hate you and want you to suffer.
Okay, reasonable enough.
I thought so. I quite like those, especially because it's one of the things. I think those are specific to the Van Reer faction, but they're little scenery sets, little terrain sets for scattered terrain for Volsung, and they have specific scenario based around them. So if you buy a set of market stalls, it will have a scenario. If you buy the set with Golem parts on it, then it has a different scenario. So not only do you get something that you can just use as scattered terrain, but you can also play the actual scenario that they're based around with the special rules. So it's a nice way of doing it.
So a bit like the terrain pieces that Fantasy Flight did for Star Wars Legion.
Yeah, except
not as expensive.
£100. Yeah. I mean, small resin scattered terrain pieces are pricey enough, but not that price. Yeah.
And they're not even resin from Fantasy Flight.
No,
they're plastic.
Plastic. Look, he's been playing with colour shifting paints. What his friend has lent him. He too can have colour shifting painted things. It's all good. Oh, good.
Though speaking of Star Wars Legion, I'm still pestering them.
Good. They've not banned you yet.
Not yet. And the funny thing is, I know they're reading my stuff because I tend to start with a normal conversation, asking polite things about things they're doing, and I'm getting replies. And because the streams aren't that popular, I'm pretty sure my requests for an Epic Legion are read, and then there's some moderator dunking his head on the table going, "You're not that guy again."
And you go, "Oh yes, that guy again."
Yes, I always make sure that when I leave, I say a proper goodbye until next week.
You don't just vanish.
No, I don't. I'm very much had a proper upbringing. You need to be polite when leaving the room. Scream into everybody's ears that you're going. Make sure that they know you're going, so they can appreciate when you're gone.
Until I get miniature Star Wars Legion. You can't. You scream, flicking the V's as you go.
Yeah, if it would be a game on Tabletop Simulator, I'd be tempted to flick the table, if possible.
And we're coming back to the start-ish, almost.
Slowly.
Lady Quimby, I'm not sure if she's related to Diamond Joe Quimby from The Simpsons. Chowder.
Maybe.
Chowder. I can only hope so.
And here we
nice,
have a
nice change of pace.
oven of some description.
Quim. B. He says it can't be good, but what could be wrong with some sort of weird boiler furnace type thing / ghoul workshop?
Do you happen to know, do they make their masters with 3D printing for terrain? Because the phone box looked horribly 3D printed.
Pass. I imagine so.
And now I think we're at the beginning again. Yeah, where the lady is getting caught in the lever. A lab assistant joins the inventors.
I imagine it's fine, and whatever switch that pulls will in no way upset, interrupt, inconvenience, or destroy the rest of the lab. So I wouldn't worry about it. It's all fine. We're all fine here.
Pull the lever, Krong!
It's
wrong lever!
An amazing set of stuff that 12D artist has been working on for a campaign he's playing with his mate. So probably next week we'll have a look at his mate stuff.
Very possible. On to the next then. Gorka.
Sure.
And he's going all out again.
He is. obviously still no brain matter beige, so not doing it right.
At some point, he's going to make a project with just brain matter beige miniatures just to set you off.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Easy boy will tell you. That's doing it right. That's reaching the pinnacle of success.
Yeah, but I'm
Your
taking
miniatures are nothing but brain matter beige.
just brain matter beige, nothing
that's
else.
No, it's great. So you can't really complain about that. It's all good.
Scarlet Witch.
But here are the incestuous lovers. Maximoff and Wanda. I can't remember their surname, Petrio or something like that. Anyway, they fuck each other. They fuck. Brothers and sisters. They fuck like donkeys. Just saying.
This face I've seen on some meme somewhere.
Yes. He's Thanos.
Well,
He
this
has
we have seen before.
all of the rings.
All of the glowy, pointy thingamajigs in his fist. What is it with fists and miniatures?
But not only that, but massive brass fisting.
Yeah.
He's got there. But as we've learned from Loki, which if people aren't watching, spoilers ahead, Infinity Stones, fuck me, they're 10 a penny. So many of them.
I haven't seen or heard anything on those lines, but I'm trusting you on this.
It's good. It's good times. I like Sinister. Sinister's a really nice model. Which I hadn't really paid attention to. I knew it was coming, and I think I'd seen early pictures or teasers where it was just showing like shoulders upwards, so you could see the cloak and face, but you didn't see the fact that he was stepping out of the curling mist. And I do like that they've sort of introduced more and more of this, making them comic-esque.
And also, it's way superior to Foot on Rock.
Yeah, foot in mist. It's great. It's good look. So
next project then, The Last Legion.
say goodbye to the Maximovs.
So
Maximovs.
this
Petro Maximov.
is either one we have both been seen or
Max Petrimov.
I've seen on my own because
You might have seen it on your own. You might not have.
but it could
What's
be
it to you? Huh?
ages ago because the entry
What?
is from 2019.
Huh? Why I oughta.
Kronos the Traveler. Let's go through this. War Machine. Are these current models? No, they are not.
Yes, they are. So the reason I dragged this from the Mists of Time is mostly because I hadn't realised he'd done it. I think like the second thing in there, I was looking at his grey fastness, steampunky Imperial Guard force he was making, which uses that walker in there. I was looking at that, poking up with sticks to see whether or not he'd done any more updates. And then I said, come have a look at this, and found a whole host of Warmahordes stuff that's actually painted up, and including some stonking big tanks and the like as well. So not just your standard vehicles from Warmahordes, but also shit he's found from other places, whether it's things like the Pioneer Siege tank, the Raider APC. I don't know if those are actual War Machine ones. It's possible because they have done some big things, like that massive construct at the start, which is the Siege Crawler for, I can't remember who they are. I remember them being red. Yeah, fuck it. Anyway, whoever the Russian-y type faction is. But yeah, so I started going through this and having a nosy to see what else was in here, and came across some really nice things like the Troll Bloods in a very pinkish look, because Troll Bloods generally they tend to err more on the side of bluish grey or shadow grey, whereas he's obviously decided just to go for his own colour scheme on them, and they look very nice. So I was just intrigued what else was in there.
The color scheme reminds me a bit of some of the Imperial Guard, the greenish tint.
Yep, definitely stolen from World War One, just like the Guard. But again, this is
you're saying. Games Workshop hasn't thought that up on their own.
Yeah, you know,
They
there's a hint, there's a
stole it?
suggestion. But again, even though it's technically Warhammer Horde, it's really just a steampunk army. So Signar, Trollbloods, doesn't matter who they are, they all get a bit of kit bash converting, changed up enough, and then painted in a similar color scheme. So you could field them as individual forces, or you can combine them all for other steampunk style games. And I mean, eventually the Imperial Guard from his other project will probably be folded into this, like the walker is up the top. Dutch says, oh, stream halted, but I can still see the stream, so I'm going to assume it's just happening in the Netherlands.
Yeah, very much possible. Maybe they got flooded.
Well, you know, it's always maybe Dutch was on the road to stick his finger in the dike today and forgot about it, because I imagine they still do that, cycling through people on a daily basis.
So that the country doesn't drown.
Back to normal now. But yeah, it's just really nice. I really like it. Different. Definitely different.
Needs some updates. Let's leave them a comment.
But like the Greywater Fastness, which is the Imperial Guardy steampunky one he's working on, has had updates more recently, but not recently enough for me. And then I discovered this and was like, ooh, new. And if I've not seen it, then it's new to me. Style of new, which is a type of new. You're not the boss of me. Ray Darcy from Kildare. No, his name's not Grealish. It's Kronos the Traveller.
Next lovely project then. Oh, I may warn you, people at home, at some point I've seen a preview that may contain disturbing images. Oh, God. What did I tell you?
Worse. I haven't even hit the project where it's just various pictures of my nutsack resting on miniatures that people don't own.
So,
it's a good way of doing it.
Long live the
See
sheep.
what's propping up my left bollock.
Whoever that is.
Unreleased elf mage.
What is this project about then?
This is, and this will come as no surprise, completing miniatures. Specifically miniatures that have been kicking around forever and a fucking day. So we have way in the past, I think, looked at this, or at least I have, because he got a golden button back in June last year, and like a lot of other things, it's come back to it. So in June last year, he'd got up to number 10, a lot of Rackham stuff in it, which is why I initially found this and started following him like a stalker, because he had some Rackham models that I didn't have. Outrageous, I know.
This is a paint job on a Necron I can get behind, looking really grubby and nasty and rusty.
Oh, well, you know, it's bound to happen sooner or later. But since last year, or since we last visited, he's got about another 11 miniatures done, I think. And it you know, it's a simple project. It literally goes, here's prep, finished, and when it's finished, it gets a little number, so you can see how far they're going.
This is
So
the exact opposite of the battle between the weird elf and dwarf counting each other's deaths. This is also counting as one.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's Harambe and Child from the first update, or if it's the massive cock there. It'd be interesting to see, because if you put that cock beside number 25, which is a 10mm Warmaster Chaos Marauder, looking a bit like Archaon or Chaos Knight rather, they're probably about the same size. That chicken would probably have that Chaos Warrior. It's a massive chicken.
Attack chicken, yeah. So we were here in June.
Yeah, June last year, not to be confused with now, which is also June.
Oh,
but you know,
God.
I'm going to say 10 to 11 model. That's pretty much a model a month. That's faster than I fucking manage. So, you know, fair fucks to Wolverine. What can I say?
I'm just not going to say anything about the quantity of miniatures I've painted recently.
No good will come from it.
No, it will
You know,
only
there's people
lead
who painted all their miniatures.
to hurt,
Dead
pain, and anger. and possibly
he also wants to know
self-harm.
where there's a buff-looking gin that he wants to know where it's come from.
Was that the little guy a little bit back with the base? This one? No idea
Yes,
where he
that
came
one.
from.
He looks hauntingly familiar. He almost feels like Grenadier to me, but I don't think he is. Who knows? Anyway, time will tell. Somebody will know. Somebody will tell him. Or they won't. That's how it goes.
Maybe
are
someone
the
will
options.
leave a comment along the lines, I know,
Life is binary.
but I won't tell you.
He does have a Mr. Otter as well, which is the favourite Minions collection. Makes sense. Otters, you know. They're like the water version of a squirrel.
Only not so fluffy.
Nope. But otters will collect and play with stones for no good reason. I've got tiny pebbles. I'm going to try and juggle them. Oh, I feel the juggling because I'm an otter.
Yeah, this is a disturbing picture. Let's move on quickly.
Wolverine or Rambi? Nothing wrong with Wolverine there.
I'm leaving that
Schnickety-schnack.
to your imagination. Oh, that thing that nobody can buy.
Yep. Had to pick someone, so I picked on him.
Figuring out how to play this thing. That's a good question.
Yeah. Don't worry, he's only started to play with it post having painted most of it. So forget the whole running, jumping, skipping look at it. I think we were on page 1 before. Just going to check page 1. So we do. I'll check. You wait here. You start having a look at the bottom.
I just went down to the bottom to see the swarms, and then we'll go up from here.
It's probably the best way.
We don't want to disturb the project system now, do we?
No. Oh God, no. Oh no. That'd be the worst thing we could do. It's really interesting because I've been watching Marco paint this recently. Hey guys, Marco here. Essentially, he painted the entire content of the box in about 15 hours.
I've tried to watch a video of his,
Mm-hmm.
and
Was it too Italian for you?
It may be me getting really anti-person now, but he's so fucking happy in his videos. It gives me the creeps.
It's great. It's just
It's
loving life. He's living in Dublin. Everything's great. You know. Did I show you the Hitler meme? Somebody done one of the downfall ones.
No, I don't think you.
my Führer, the Italians have joined the war. Hitler going, doesn't matter, send one division to see them off. My Führer, the Italians have joined the war on our side. Sent 20 divisions to help them immediately. I was going, that's so fucking good.
I'm guessing they used the movie.
Yeah, Oh, it's come courtesy of Downfall. Yeah, no, I have been on the other page, but not for a long, long time. So you'll see most of the heroes for people who want to follow along at home on subsequent pages. Yeah. So there's a whole middle page we've never been on, and we were on page 1 once. But ignoring that, just looking up what's going on here.
Kitties.
Look at all of those aerials / bowstrings.
This isn't nice. First post a picture of your own kitties and then do zombie kitties.
Yep.
Is he implying that his kitties are zombies? Poor little things.
It's a good way of working out colorations and patternings. I like it. It's a very clean, board gamey feel. The paint job's very good. It's not overly fussy. But then you hit the basing, and the basing is just everybody gets dark base, black rim around it, and then occasionally some of them get little bits of tiling stuck on in a minimalist way. so as not to detract from the fact that it's a board game. So I quite like it.
Yeah, the subtle color scheme is also binding everything together, so it's not sticking out like a sore thumb at some point.
Yeah. It's also, as somebody once said, and maybe Marco, you can change the colors on your miniatures within a unit or even between different units and nobody will notice. The shades of blue could be different. Shades of red could be different. Nobody will give a fuck. But the minute you start changing basing around, people will spot it from a mile away. You know, that unit doesn't match that unit. That set of basing doesn't match anything else in the army and really stands out. So just having a very subtle, basic basing style to work like a sort of a frame for the model is excellent.
Yeah, it's always the thing when you somehow buy up bulk miniatures from eBay, and you can see if they come from one collection, they usually look alike, or if that is somebody who is reselling stuff he had been plundering. When there are 15 different versions of a base in it. He's a productive little fellow, isn't he?
Yes, very much. And like I say, there's 3 pages. We were on page 1 before. This is page 3. And by the time we hit the end of this, that is the entire thing painted. So the heroes have slightly more, not a huge amount more detail on them than the basic dungers that you're looking at in some of the other pictures there. I suppose crisply painted is probably the best way. They don't stand out or jar. But you know, the fact that they're the heroes, they should have like a slight step up from the rest of them. So it's quite nice. And then at the end, attempting to play the game,
only to find the game sucks.
you know, isn't that the whole point of gaming? Oh, I've spent all this time playing this game. Now this game sucks balls. There's a game coming up. In fact, we're doing a theme week for it. Spoilers, there's theme week coming up. And the game is as hard as fuck. Really, I really enjoy it because it's like, holy shit, this game is going to fuck you up and leave your carcass at the roadside for some sort of collector to come and shovel into a cart. I played through a game with Justin teaching him it, and the game took us to the fucking fair. It just ruffle stomped us. I'm going to say it's a difficult game, but it's really simple mechanics. You got to think about everything. It's going, this game's fucking broken. Hate this game. It's like, Captain Alpha Strike can't take when the game Alpha strikes him.
Hello, MacGoffmog. Welcome to the party.
Oh, hi.
Are you allowed to say what game that is, or will we be surprised?
I don't know. Depends whether or not you want to be surprised.
Oh, I like surprises.
We'll leave it then.
Dice at Arms is the next project, doing Knights of the Path.
Sure. This is just a little one for Hazy Boy and me. No. See, Tim said no, so I'm going to take it that he speaks for all of you.
Because they don't have a voice.
Yeah, no voice here. Here, no voice. But this is Path of Conquest 100 Kingdoms. It's just nice to see somebody else persisting with it. Moving along from... There's been a bit of a gap, because I don't know if he stuck with... Yeah, he started more or less with us, but then I assume he hit the same stumbling block that my colleagues all hit. That prevented them from fucking doing anything. But unlike my...
You're not going to let that go, are you?
No, I'm not. Unlike my colleagues, he's managed to get back on the wagon and get some more painted up, so it's all good.
I'm going to say he saw you ranting about your colleagues not getting along, and then saw the opportunity of raising himself above your colleagues.
There's a man who's seen an opportunity for a golden butt ding by going, look, I've got on another milestone. Oh, I'm so fucking tempted. Ben.
Speaking of, you all now have your golden buttons, so...
Yeah, I've seen that. Thank you very much. I'm still waiting on the one Warren went. I was definitely getting a couple of years ago. We were like, have you ever got gold? No, I haven't. No. Said you're getting a gold bar. I was like, oh, that's very generous of you. Thanks. Damn, tumbleweeds.
And now you are not eligible. Eligible? What's the word again?
Oh no, this was after I joined Breasts. It was something I'd done. He went, oh, that's amazing. You deserve a gold bar for that. You're going to get one. You're going to have one. Nah, never happening.
Also, I'm very much astounded that nobody has snagged up the domain Breasts of War yet.
Right.
I was very much tempted, but then
Peculiar.
again, I've got so many domains already. I can't really use anymore.
It's like what was I watching from Red Letter Media? Might be the best of the worst. And they came up with the phrase "pizza pie people." I went, oh, somebody's going to have that, pizzapiepeople.com. And Jay just went, yeah, I'm going to have that. And they do. To this day, they still have pizzapiepeople.com. But when you type it in, it redirects back to the Red Letter Media shop. But it's quite nice, just for those few people out there who happen to go, ah, ha, ha, ha. I wonder if it still exists.
There are
People.
some techniques from the beginning of the internet time that were very much a feasible business object, like buying domains that are similar to famous domains. Typical typo domains.
To be fair, John Oliver's more or less made his career, not quite his career, but certainly a major strand of his current career for Last Week Tonight consists of him getting domains of something very similar to, or something that annoys somebody else, and then running charities or whatever through it. You know.
It's like a bit. What's the bloody bassist from Kiss called again?
Catman. I don't know. Nobody knows Kiss.
No, the. Oh fucking hell!
Mr. Starr.
No, the bassist.
I don't know. I've named two of them. There's only two left, and one of those is Gene Simmons.
Yes, that's the one.
The other one.
That's the fucker. Gene Simmons buying.
Gene Simmons is the bassist. Is he not the lead?
No,
he gave himself a shit instrument.
No, he's the bassist. He's the one with the tongue, and he's buying domains left, right, and center for some time. He's got a very wide catalog, and there are things he owns that he shouldn't own. I'm not
things
going.
Like Google.net and things like that.
Something.
Until Google discover that he owns it, and then have to buy it back for
something like that. He's
nice.
a man who's very good at making money. Let's put it that way. Next project, Scary
Makes
Bitches
sense.
again. Little Alice.
This is one that the kids at home will have to play with themselves,
Yeah.
because there is sound on that when you play the little video.
Is it copyrighted?
No, I can't imagine it is.
Well, then let's hear it.
Oh, that's right. It plays and people can hear it when you play it, do they? I'm going to assume that they're all hearing it.
It's very,
'cause I can hear
very
fuck all.
faint.
I'd noticed that as well.
Oh, now I recognize. He used the sound file from Alice Cooper.
Yes, correct, Mundo. I was going to say, if you scroll down, you'll be able to see that as we've moved from one aging 70s rocker to another. In this case, it's the delightful reincarnation of that witch.
It's bedtime now.
Hmm.
Oh, this is surely this is wrong. We don't electronics. What?
Yeah, but did we not say we wouldn't feature him again until we had light, movement, and sound?
Yes, we did. and he said he wouldn't do it.
Trifecta.
And he said he wouldn't do it.
Yeah, well, clearly it got to him. And he cracked under the pressure.
Do not press. Is that a Terry Pratchett reference?
I think it's just a general reference.
End of the world button. Do not press. Oh, I'm pretty sure after these last 18 months there will be multiple people pressing happily that button with a smile on their face.
I don't know. What would be the next demand? We have light, sound, and movement now. Where can we go from here?
Effects. Fog. Projectiles.
Projectiles. Yeah, because fog's too easy. Fuck it, even I'm doing a fog thing. If I can fucking manage a fog thing.
Or something along like a automated drone that just flies around the table once and then lands on its base again.
All right, an AI. Soup, you're a fucking genius. We're not going to feature Blinky again until we have an actual AI built in. And I don't mean one of these shit, if X then Y, if Y then Z things where it's just I mean an actual proper singularity-inducing AI.
Well,
built into a Primaris.
Skynet wasn't brought to life by the military. It was some weird miniatures maker.
Sure, I can believe that. That makes sense.
Almost as believable as a story as Terminator.
To be fair, having seen, the Justice League, the Miles Dyson was still about fucking building men into biometric android things. So clearly they were right to go back in time and try and kill him up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure mankind will somehow manage to fuck the world up even more.
It's not beyond the realms of possibility. I'm sure there's something we can do.
Give Blinky a golden button.
We can all go and pee in the sea at the same time and see if we can raise the saline level enough to kill all the fish. Pee for victory.
We would flood the Netherlands.
Omelette and eggs on that one. Huh? It's a risk I'm willing to take.
Flooded with pee.
Flooded with pee.
Next project. Evil Stew versus Pile of Shame. This is one creative picture for a project, if I've ever seen one.
I like it. It's good. It speaks to me. Does exactly what it says in the tin. I like the fact that because he's titled his project the same thing, you get it and then you get it underneath. Like whenever you're watching a foreign language film and then something comes up in English and subtitles match them perfectly, you're going, well, that didn't need to be subtitled, did it? Anyway. So, apparently enough messing around, let's get this done. But it is a selection of not always old GW stuff, but all based for either Warhammer or the Ninth Age or what have you, being dragged out and resurrected.
That's
for the gaming
a
table,
lot of Scuddy Bobs.
like nature intended. Is it? Are you sure? That's like 90 points, 90 points. The back row are zombies. It's fucking like, what were zombies? 4 points each. So 80 and 80, 160, 120. It's not even 500 points, for fuck's sake.
And have you seen this sacrilege he's doing?
Have I?
Yeah.
I might have done.
The base trays are 3D printed.
Oh, they 3D printed them. It's one of those things. There's a guy on Tinterwebs who has 3D printed his trays for Kings of War, and it baffled me for a while because I was trying to work out what was going on, because Kings of War is a very specific footprint, and then I realized that he wasn't putting like 20 on a tray, put 12 on, and then they used the fact that the gappage between them brought it up to the relevant number / size. So that was quite good. Skeleton Archers, though, those are original GW Skeleton Archers from the Skeleton Army box set, where you got 30 skeleton, 5 cavalry, and a chariot for like £7. those archers have never existed fucking anywhere else. So that's a blast of the past. When somebody's going to clean, that's how you do it. You go back almost 35 years and break out those plastics. Go, you know what? It's time these fuckers were finished.
It still gives me the shivers when I think of that I own miniatures that are older than some of the people reading these articles or listening to the stream.
Hey, it's one of those things.
Yeah,
We've all passed a lot of water.
Oh, hell yes.
Have I been on a massive old hammer vibe recently? Apparently I must have been, considering some of the projects I picked for tonight. Huh.
Oh, and
Go figure.
Speaking of Scullybobs, have you seen the latest iteration of Heresy Andy's deadly? Yeah.
Where he's going, this is too big, it's not going to fit in the sprue anymore.
No, it's not too big. It's grand.
It might be a little bit too big. If the sprue consists of one plastic skeleton in a massive cloak, nobody is buying that box set. That Kickstarter is not funding.
No, but that should be a Kickstarter goal or a Kickstarter exclusive. That is.
Oh, it'd be lovely. I mean, even if he did it in the resin form, it would be beautiful. I've managed to contain myself and not buy the guitar playing skeleton model.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because I backed 2 Kickstarters last week, so I can't justify spending another 45 quid on a giant skeleton model when I don't even know what the fuck I'm going to use the last one for. I suppose I could use them as bookends. So,
or as terrain? Scullybob Giants?
Yeah, sure.
Put them on square bases.
The one with the man. Oh, don't worry. The one I've got is going on a square base because otherwise I can't use it in proper games. The other one though with the guitar is a bit. Yeah, sure. You have a skeleton giant, but who's going to have made that fucking guitar for it is the problem. Although having it as a bookend, have thread on one side and it on the other, it wouldn't be terrible.
And it should be a bookshelf where you only have books about music. It would be very fitting.
That'd be incredibly fitting. I don't think I've owned a book about music ever.
Or. Do you own the copy of the Pratchett book about making music? What's it called in English again?
Soul music.
Soul music?
Yes.
Having that book and 2 of these rocking...
Oh, just them?
Just this one book,
just that.
two Scullybobs each side, as a display piece somewhere around the house on a mantelpiece or something. That
has a certain something.
Yeah.
It has a certain something.
That sparks joy. Let's spark joy with the next project then. Looper 15 Spring Clean Challenge, which is over by now. So,
yes,
officially done and dusted, and
finished 2 days ago, as I give everybody plenty of time, and then I went through and shortlisted the stuff yesterday. But this is interesting because if you read about this project, I started following this last year when it was going to be his 2020 Spring Clean Challenge, and I think there was only ever one post in it, and then it went nowhere. And then that's all been double tapped behind the chemical shed and resurrected like a proper Spring Clean Challenge.
Let's see
to give us this
where we started.
Yeah, so he started in February, where he began
assembly
basing stuff
and basing.
Considering our first post maybe the first post never made it into it. I did start following it last year because it was Lupa's Spring Cleaning 2020, and I remember looking at the picture going, oh, what's going to be in this?
And then he never did anything.
Fucking never. And it was right at the very start, it was one of the first ones up. Nothing in it. But anyway, I digress constantly. So some sort of cornate berserk type thing. But there's some interesting bits and pieces in here. I quite like the lava. So you can see there how the lava base is being done.
It's different because I think I don't have seen anybody covering lava effects done like he's done on the left side and then using crack paint.
Crackle medium. Some people do it. It's definitely a different way of doing it. I would potentially go with much junkier crackle paint.
Yeah.
Really layer the fucker on. Because I think the cracks are based on the density of it, because as it dries, it shrinks.
Yeah.
So if you put it on very thin, it doesn't crack much, and you get very small cracks like you have there. So possibly even modulating, so you have thicker bits maybe further out, so it cracks more, or maybe you have the thicker bits closer to land as if it's breaking and rupturing. But anyway, I digress. Apart from that, apart from the level of crack, his crack on this is good.
Crackheads unite.
And you get a nice little painting tutorial on Mr. Whippy. So Douglas Hurd from Thatcher's government.
Painting unhealthy skin. Oh, did you see that Army Painter just got a new paint set? Skin tones.
No, haven't really been paying attention, to be brutally honest.
They made a YouTube video promotion for it, where they interviewed multiple people of color in the regards of painting skin.
All right.
It sounds a bit weird. So I don't know why. It's just instead they, in my opinion, they should have kept it at. We've talked to people about skin colors and we've come to the conclusion this is our new paint set and it would be done and dusted. But then having multiple people.
I think it's much better if they go, we found ourselves a black artist and matched the skin tone to his paint. And we found a Middle Eastern artist. Look at this, it's all olivey skin tony. Ooh, you wouldn't expect that with a real person. And then we found a normal person and just have pink skin.
Yeah,
while flicking the V's.
It feels a bit like it.
And yeah, it sounds fucking bizarre. Oh.
It is. I'm
we
guessing
couldn't find an Oriental, so we've just included sunburst yellow for their skin.
I'm guessing they
Hashtag Army Painter.
I'm guessing they meant well, but somehow.
Oh, it's yeah. It sounds weird.
But
even before I started adding in my own layers to it.
Since the painters themselves are talking about the paints in the video, I'm guessing they're okay with the way it's depicted.
You know, it's one of those things. I have one skin tone, which is basic skin tone from Vallejo, which is kind of like a pink color. But whenever I'm painting skin tone, I use a variety of browns and beiges, and then I just use the sunny skin tone as a highlight to mix into it. So I never reach for a bottle of Caucasian flesh or African flesh or
barbarian flesh.
It's too fucking difficult to match. I think anybody trying to match any skin tone is a pain in the hole. I'm just going to say that right now. It's a monumental pain in the cock.
Yeah, Dutch, you may be right. They may be unaware of how they're used in the interview, but
I imagine they're not. I imagine if they were being interviewed, they would have, assuming that the questions weren't phrased really weirdly, that they could be edited in some way.
The thing is,
and if they had been, considering the fact the internet is a thing these days, Army Painter would be out of business by now if that's been up for more than about 12 hours. So
yeah, they didn't really do questions, but there was the introduction by the Army Painter guy, and then some of the people, some of the creators started talking, and they just went from one to one. It's like in any regular commercial where you go, yeah, this is great because we wanted to diddle.
I thought that was the whole point of the small dropper crazy. It's for the insertion. No. Fair enough then. Apparently I have been using them wrong.
Do not insert the small tip into the big tip. This will lead to problems.
Very, very much so. Here, Soap, you've got your finger on the pulse of Infinity. Anything new and exciting coming up for them shortly? just while we're here, we can. Oh, have you scrolled up? There's still more. You could be scrolling up here while we're here.
Well, I've reached the limit. This guy.
Oh, right. See the. I was still sitting on the. I just started painting him. Pit.
No, we're on top now. New code 1. Docking. Yes, Crispin. I knew you would be very experienced in that technique.
Because I was thinking we've done fuck all with Infinity in a long time, and I fancy doing something with Infinity. Code 1 actually might be a way to go, because then I wouldn't have to listen to people complaining that they have to read rules, or them bitching at me if I tell them something, then they forget it 20 minutes later.
Yes.
Tag death matches later on this year. I knew that.
Next project, please. Panzer kaputt goes Baron's War. And if Pete is not stopping soon, I'm guessing his hobby room will be flooded with miniatures.
I shall speak to Carlos. Have they finally added Yu Ching? Super fantastic, great. Hello, 12T12T. They were in at the start. Oh, in that case, I'm fucking sorted. Yeah, I'll speak to Carlos and get him to sort me out. I mean, theoretically, we've got stuff anyway, but I just fancy doing some Infinity stuff. Something like that, you know. I could. Now, obviously, I've got 4 fucking Infinity Forces all still in their boxes. Ideally, what I could do is take those out and fucking paint my own stuff. But let's not go there, folks. That's not going to happen. We all know that's not going to happen. So.
Your peasants look very unhealthy, Pete.
Where am I? No, that's right. I thought I'd linked the wrong one there. Yeah, so this is one that people are almost certainly aware of, but he's been trucking on while we haven't been covering him, doing other clever things in the background. So I figured it's only fair just to go, look what Pete's done. Mess. Pete did it. Look at him. Mess. Pete.
Can you please listen to us?
Because we have not been here in a little while, so apparently there's a narrative campaign coming for the Board of Baron's War things.
Just look about how many painted miniatures there are, and how many unpainted there are still in the background. So there is still stuff coming from him.
Oh yeah, there's room for expansion. As the man says, there's so much room for activities. It's all delightful. Or lovely.
Oh, and I remember he has been experimenting violently with P paint, or what was it called again? P brush? No. Photo P.
Well, considering I stole some of the stuff off Pete in the before times, it's entirely possible he's using a real thing. The interesting one he did, which we talked about in, I want to say, the proper house in Discord, the House of Water, was one side, you could even have the flags like I did it, where I'm going, here's your flag, double it, that's your flag is done now. But Pete's gone, what if the sun is coming from a direction, and therefore one side is in shade and one side is lit up, and so you can see there 4 pairs, one with sunlight added and one just flat, and I went, that's fucking genius.
That's,
why did I not think of that?
That's a level of detail that's money. Almost as anal as a German accountant. Northampton Castle. So now he's into terrain, is he?
He might be into terrain. Might be. I'm not saying anything. There's certainly been a lot of terrain going on, but we haven't seen anything to this extent yet. We'll know when he starts buying up Renedris things over the course of many months. Especially for Norham Castle there. The Renedris set would probably be ideal. It's very square.
Maybe this is the time where he should buy himself a hot wire cutter from Proxon and start building.
Yeah, it's a lot of time and effort. Although that's a good point. It would slow him down, so the rest of us have a chance to catch up. You should definitely consider building something brick by brick using a hot wire cutter.
Yes.
We can send you links, Pete. You'll really enjoy it. Think of all the fun you'll have.
All the very slow building process, making all the struts and...
Think how much fun that is.
Sweet. We can even top that. We can send him links to people who sell silicone molds for making his
like
own...
Hearst Arts?
Yes.
That's no fun. No. No, you don't want to give him something like that. Think how quick that's pour in the plaster and walk the fuck away, then come back like half an hour later and pop them out. No, you want them there building the superstructure in balsa wood and pine, and then cladding every step of the way. You could actually you've got the crane from Gangs of Rome, so you could probably set that up so you could actually wheel it and then lift the little foam blocks to the higher levels.
He's not allowed to use his hands, but proper size
has
tools.
Has to do it all as if he was a 28mm figure.
And
that'd be magic. You'd love that.
And that all while being on a diet that's appropriate for the time he's building it.
The Citadel Logo Castle is almost complete a long time ago, but there'd been some stuff in the real world that had delayed him. So he hasn't updated. I must poke him actually. He'd updated it on Facebook, but not in the project system. So I'll give him a poke and get him to update it on Facebook or in the projects, and we'll have a look at it whenever he does that. Because he had most of it done with the detailing, and it was looking fairly fucking spanky. He took a picture outside because it was too big to take a picture on the table when it was all stacked. You go, we need to play a game in this because that's fucking amazing.
Seeing all this wall of text that Pete is putting into his project, I guess I now know why he's so furious at times of the project system when they eat his entries.
That's why God invented edit.
And copy and paste.
Yep. Copy and paste, edit that. Edit again. Edit. But yeah, a substantial amount of detail going in there. Squeeze me. For anyone who's wanting to find out where these people have come from. So it's not just all about Maid Marian and her merry men, but you also get the whole kit and caboodle about their backstory.
Trouble is, people these days only tend to look at pretty pictures and not read any text. And I'm not
sometimes
not exempting myself from this. I'm very much terrible at that as well.
It seems to be, a failing, but then you can always tell people that the answer's in the text whenever they ask questions, even if it's not. Especially if they've got a wall of text to get through.
Read between the lines. Imagine what the author wanted to say.
It's like, the way we have that start to the show and Free's not in the start to the show. Mm-hmm. Somebody keeps whining about it on YouTube. Blah, blah, blah. Free should be in there. Blah, blah, blah. Why isn't that free? Still no free in the opening titles. I don't think they appreciate how fucking difficult that is to do and how much time it takes. That's not just something where you can press a button and go, freeze there now. So much so that they haven't complained about the fact that Ben has been in the XLBS for over 18 months and has never been in the XLBS titles.
Yeah, and he's also still for the weekender on the telly.
Yes. So that's how difficult it is. So somebody did the same petition to get free in the titles bit. So I just went, she is. And then 4 hours later, I got a response on YouTube going, is she? I must have missed it. Going, oh no, she's there. And 2 hours after that, came back and went, I'm not seeing it. And I went, oh no, you should definitely go back and play at quarter speed. She's in there. And then 5 hours after that, going, I don't know what's happening, but I'm not seeing the same thing as you are. She's not in the titles we're seeing. I'm going, I'm glad I've wasted your day. Shut the fuck up about it. These are the things I do to amuse myself. Because I think it's going to get to the stage where Lloyd is just going to take the titles off in place of putting free in because he doesn't have the time and it's fucking hassling him. It's just like, I've just gone the other way. It's not annoying me anymore. I'm just taking the piss out of people. My goal is to, we'll never hit the 100,000 subs, because every couple of weeks I'll be just pissing people off. They'll be unsubbing.
The weird
I don't even know who these people are. It's not even like, you know, the way you recognize certain names. You go, oh, I know them from the site or into the Discord. Fucking no clue who this person is. Could be in the chat right now. Fucking might not be. Who knows? It's good times though.
It's so, sometimes your level of evilness is really refreshing.
You know, what can I say? Fish by hooks. It's good times.
Yes,
good times.
they do, especially if you feed them with a red herring and say, "Go look in, she's in there." And the best thing would be if there would be a micro fraction of a second, like one frame where she's blinked in.
I've got my free here, because I suggested to Lloyd that what we could do is just get a piece of paper. Oh, there's the flags from Turkeyco. I'll need them for an unboxing. Oh, I must have thrown it away. All right, we'll just get like a piece of like lined note paper and then draw free in crayon. And I've got a box of crayons there for filling in dice and fucking acrylic templates and stuff. So I just drew free with the buns in her hair and like wavy hairlines and a big smiley face and all that. We'll just do that, and then at the start of the show I'll just like hold it up and go, see, she's in the titles. I just leave it at that. Just have like a single frame of that stuck at the end. But he said no.
Or you could.
Apparently that's still too much effort.
Or you could just print her out, and then you have a big banner on screen.
It's one way of doing it. Certainly, it is one way of doing it. I should really tidy this. I'm just saying, there's an awful lot of shit.
Next project, then, please. Batman Gotham City Chronicles by Puntje.
Sure. Let's go with that. I'm sure Dutch is looking at you going, what? What did you say?
Well,
but
he can come over and try to teach me the way of the Dutch.
Oh no, you can just shout at the TV. We'll hear. shout the correct pronunciation. We're all good. But yeah, this is one that's been popping up on and off over months, as slowly trying to get that box together. So we've got a few new.
We've been here some time ago.
So we've got Harley and Wrath, but again, it's fascinating because I think we've got this game but never looked at it in the studio. This is from Monolith.
It says so, yeah. Monolith,
yeah.
Batman.
And it's just nice. It's one of these things that every now and again, when he has time, he will revisit, as and when he's got something new. It's a monumental amount of figures in that set.
Yeah, it sounds a bit. Only 24 models to go, and then I will finish the 2 core boxes of heroes and villains. Mm-hmm. This sentence sounds so much exhaustion in it.
Yeah.
I wish this was be over. Please kill me.
But it's one of those things where you did complain about the manual, did I? That makes me. Was it because you couldn't tell what the fuck was going on the maps? Because I dimly remember looking at some sort of comic booky map and I couldn't work out where walls were and stuff like that. It was just a blur. But yeah, this has been ongoing for some time. If you go back to the very start, you'll see just like the dungers, so every villain has like a selection of mooks, as we would say, that could be thrown in front of Batman and Robin in a kapow style to take the hits. And you get some idea when you've just got like a tray of about 36 miniatures that's just made of dungers to throw into the fray. And it goes from there. So if you imagine each one of those then has a boss, and then you've got the additional giant boss things, or the T-Rex and Harley and so on and so forth. There's just so much going on. So even if it's not being used for the game, even the game does turn out. I remember unboxing it. I've just spotted the civilian. Did I play the game of Homeless or Hobo? No, homeless or hipster. When I see the guy with the big beard and the hat, yeah, it's all coming back to me now. That may have been Ryan, but somebody was beside me. Somebody smaller. Who knows? Anyway, is he homeless or is he a hipster? No, they only let me do once with Sam, and that was for Hellboy, and I demanded that. I wouldn't let me have a step either. Oh, good times. Anyway, yeah. So
on to the last
painting
problem.
away and painting away.
Project for the evening. Umbra again.
Yeah, we started with him, so we'll finish with him. By God.
Yeah, he said we finished with him, not on him. People, keep your dirty minds clean.
Only you thought that.
Yes, I did,
So,
and I was only talking to myself.
Good enough. But this is only page 1. You will see it's 2019. So if people like what they're seeing, he is still posting. There are new updates recently within the past week on the next page. We won't be getting that far, but we are getting some quite nice pike and shottage going on here for Pikeman's Lament from Osprey. So these are his first historical miniatures, and I have to say, oh my word, what a lovely job he's doing on them. They are just divine.
The faces looked a bit pale, but that also maybe just because of the lighting.
No, they're Dutch. They can see sun. No sun here, no sun.
Oh,
Don't worry about it.
This one on the right looks very pointy. Thank God it's not raised into the air.
There's an unboxing coming where I do a set of Spanish pikemen from 1898, and they come in straight up 45 and horizontal, so you can get the proper pike effect and really do yourself some serious damage with the steel pikes.
These do really make me nervous, to be honest.
Oh no, they're great. They're all great. Every bit of this is great, and you know, you should feel privileged to be here. I think he says where he gets the flags from. I'm not entirely certain who does them, but they're very nice flags. I'll say that.
Flag.
Because there are flags at the bottom of some of the
From
Warlord
Flags
Games
of
things.
War.
Rather, from Flags itself. Flags of War is a great website. Because you can buy flags, but they also have a set, or at least they did have a set, for certain periods. So Napoleonics, you could just go and download for free, gratis, just like Napoleonic flags, as well as doing all the stuff that they charge you cash money for. Of course, it's been a few years since I've been on there, so maybe they've stopped doing the free stuff. Pete probably knows. They still do free stuff, Pete?
Pete.
While he's typing things in frantically.
Oh no, we are getting invaded by hamburgers.
I know.
Hello, Shadow Elf, which is Philip from Hamburg, who lived close to us once. And
wow.
We shared.
And you haven't been able to get rid of him.
We shared some drinks in the past and mutual friends.
God, I'm so glad it was mutual friends there, and not we shared some drinks, and then we get a description of you and Shadow Elf Chinese booting somebody over a table.
No, we only went to a party once where I got smacked in the face.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I just arrived at the party and I didn't know that there was some kerfuffle going on, and I just got down from my bike and said, "Hello, everybody," and whack! I got some in the face, my glasses broke. What the hell is happening?
Everything's gone Pete Tong. So, sounds like a quality party.
Oh yes, very much indeed. Especially since on our party side of the kerfuffle were some people who were professionally working as bouncers in nightclubs. So there was some manpower, and they always said, "No, we are not starting to hit people. We get in trouble for them."
No, that's a terrible shame. You always start hitting them.
Yeah, it was a
Always,
weird
always.
time. I think about 25 years ago.
It's practically yesterday.
At least in my memory, yes. If I look in the mirror, not so much. Yeah, this is a very fucking long project.
Oh, you've jumped on to the next page, haven't you?
Yes, I did. I was
Oh,
curious.
well, nobody. Oh, you were curious, not bi-curious. Asking for a
Curiosity kills the cat, as you know. Oh, and he's stepping up
It's
his...
an interesting way of looking at a successful party. Yeah, I didn't just pick him because he used my sweet flag making skills to make his own flag.
Even more flags. All the flags.
Yeah, I'm always tempted to pick up Pikeman's Lament, but you know,
But just
I
almost.
still don't want to play Pike and Shot, despite me slowly accumulating Pike and Shot army.
Only for display. Only for display.
Yeah, just display in a box.
Because you
Onto
have
the other
so much
boxes
fun
far away.
painting them.
Well, to be fair, the ones I've mostly got up until now are mostly buff Cody type things. I do feel like running a Swedish army would be great fun. I should go and talk to Andy again, Fog, from the site, about the sweetness of running a Swedish army in Pike and Shot.
Maybe do a boot camp.
Having Gustavus Adolphus charging forward. No, we already know what we want the next boot camp to be. I know Hazy Boy's saying Conquest.
And it will
in
be.
his head there. I've no idea.
I'm guessing
I
it will.
wanted to be Moonstone, but nobody's talked to anybody about it yet.
Well,
But I think Moonstone would be great. Moonstone.com.
How close is that guy from? Oh bloody hell! From the woods. To
Thing. Actually, the woods itself.
Yeah.
Not how close is the guy from Moonstone from the woods, because I have no idea where his house is. He's somewhere in England as well, so it's, you know.
Wouldn't that be nice to have him around for boot camp?
Oh yeah, it'd be great. Although we would be, because he works in a school in some fashion. I don't know if he's a teacher or what, but I do know then he would be restricted to out of term time. So that's a whole other barrel of stuff. But yeah, Moonstone would be sweet. Do I want to play Donnybrook? I don't know. Don't know what I want to play. Ping. I don't even know if I want to do it. It's just me going, well, I want stuff. I want stuff would be great.
He
Why don't I
works
have
at
stuff?
the university, says Pete.
Yeah, there you go. School.
Yeah, but university usually have ways of letting people off for a day or two.
If you say so.
At least here they have, for some weird reason.
Yeah, you sound like you live in a civilized country.
At times I'm doubting that. At times I really do.
Just imagine the Tories screaming. They want to be paid for not working. How very dare they, the poors, they scream.
What's a Tory, precious?
Say, I'm trying to think, but they banned all of your extreme right-wing parties, didn't they?
Almost.
There you go. It's
There's
one of them.
There's one that's trying to get back into power and is currently doing a great job of dismantling themselves because they can't find a way to deal with the current pandemic. They're just not doing themselves not big favors in terms of politics.
Give them time.
Which is the best way to get rid of them, just watch them eat themselves.
Unfortunately, the Tories have been around for several hundred years. I'm going to say 400.
Yep.
As a political party in England, and we haven't got rid of them yet. I don't think they're fucking going anywhere, mate.
I think you need a revolution. Get rid of
we had a couple.
Yeah, but a proper one.
Not only that, we had a couple. They were on the losing side. And they're still here. Because the Stuart the Pretender Bonnie Prince Charlie, all of those revolutions were Tory revolutions out of Scotland, and they lost and still fucking clung around like a bad stink.
Yeah, because you also need to get rid of the royalty.
Oh, well, you know.
That's
yeah. Their royalty was on the losing side of being the royalty, and that royalty.
Yeah, but they're still royalty.
It's all gone Pete Tong. Anyway, you know.
Yeah.
Enough about that.
With that, our tightly scripted 30 minutes are almost in frame.
Pretty much.
I'm very much looking forward to the upcoming weekender. Whatever it will bring.
Yeah, we're doing one of those.
I hope so.
Yeah. Things back from holidays.
I don't have prepared anything for this week, Friday and Sunday, so you need to do something.
Do I?
What are we paying you for?
I did a delightful interview with a delightful games designer, and fucking nobody watched it, so, you know.
I did.
I don't know. No, it's only because I came across your channel and hassled you after you put up you were not doing anything.
And also,
it's outrageous. Fucking outrageous.
No, also, I after the interview, I've talked to him about his very lovely lamp.
Yes.
That he has there, this bowler hat, which I found really interesting.
It's a delightful hat.
Yeah. Somehow the mirror in the back always caught me off guard, because I was thinking there's somebody coming from behind, but it's just the bloody mirror.
Yep. It's good times.
Yeah.
Who knows what'll come next? Who knows what weird people I'll manage to lay my hands on to interview?
Who you get?
I found a few. Word must be getting round to other games designers, though, and they're avoiding me. So, you know, kind of everything.
Weird. I wonder why. Well, with that said, thanks again for everybody for being here, for everybody at YouTube listening in later. Hello, Lena. I hope you slept well. See you all next week. Bye.